evidence proves Obama White House sparked liberal hate for Steve Scalise. While ugly debate is to be expected in the political arena, politicians need to remember that unhinged individuals might latch onto a political viewpoint he opposes, and run with it. Hence, the Virginia shooting tragedy that left House Majority Whip Steve Scalise in critical condition. This doesn't make the politician responsible for what some nut might choose to do, but some restraint ought to be considered. If a politician is connected, even tangentially to a group such as the KKK, he or she is rightly criticized. However, irresponsible accusations of racism are never acceptable, and bring reproach on those making such false or unproven statements. It would seem that former President Barack Obama was at least to some degree responsible for generating these sorts of unfounded rumors and feelings of animosity toward Congressman Steve Scalise. If so, he is responsible for creating an environment that might encourage an already violent and ill-adjusted person to do something terrible. Via Breitbart, former President Obama's political team repeatedly attacked House Republican Whip Steve Scalise as proof that the Republican Party was racist, making him a target for leftist hate during their time in office. You'll recall that one Republican congressman told a reporter that he was David Duke without the baggage. Former White House Press Secretary Josh Earnest told reporters in September 2015, using Scalise to attack Donald Trump. Mr. Trump isn't the first Republican politician to countenance these kinds of views in order to win votes. This is irresponsible talk, a form of race baiting, and a pitiful way to generate support for a cause or candidate. The Democrats were clearly concerned over losing the minority vote, if not to Mr. Trump, at least to indifference that would lead them to stay home on Election Day. These accusations of racism against Scalise were a frequent theme used in the election. They stem from a speech he gave and a remark he made about David Duke, former head of the KKK, 20 years ago, something which he admitted was a mistake and for which he apologized. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't, and the Obama team used this to paint Republicans as bigoted. The question now in light of recent events, is whether the liberals who use this 2-decade-old incident, one which means nothing today, as a vehicle for generating animosity against Mr. Scalise. If not, they need to develop consciences,